and who promptly ended their baby-making escapades. Joe enjoys camping, fishing, target shooting, LeTip meetings on Thursday mornings, and that tingly feeling he gets while he gets his haircut. Joe has been in the swimming pool service industry for 17 years and started Cool Aquatics Pool Service in 2002. Take it away, Joe.
Thank you, Alika. So good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm Joe, Cool Aquatics Pool Service. Provide pool service. I've been in the pool service industry for a long time, 17 years. Started out working for a guy here in Sacramento that had about 13 or 14 other employees. I worked there for about 2 years, and after about 2 years, he asked me to train all of the new recruits, and then I went into supervision, supervised about 13 different guys within about 3 years. Really liked being out in the field. During that time, I bought a house. I was able to take a second mortgage out on the house and eventually purchase the same route I'd been doing for him for 4 years. So that's how I got into the pool service business. I really enjoy the pool service. You know, I'm outside. I work at my own pace. It's nice. It might be a little different than your businesses because I see clients and they become like family in that I service their pools once a week. So a lot of times I'll see them and I'll see what's happening. I've had clients that have, you know, lost spouses. I've had clients who've had, I've seen their kids grow up. They use the pool a lot and all of a sudden they're off to college and no one uses the pool. So, I really, my philosophy is not unlike Dan Gray's. I treat all my clients like I'd like to be treated. So a lot of times that means doing something extra, you know. I have a lady that she has a really steep driveway and I have to walk up the driveway to get to the pool, and I pick up her morning paper and drop it off at the door. So, I mean, little things that I can think of that just help out the client. Maybe bring in a garbage can or something like that. So little simple stuff that I think that they probably notice and enjoy that. So why would you choose me? There's a lot of other pool guys out there, obviously. We have a lot of pools in Sacramento. A lot of them, some of them know what they're doing, some of them don't. We are very reliable, obviously very reliable, very dependable, very honest. I try to provide service for people with a high degree of integrity, and again, that's treating everybody like they would want to be treated. A lot of people don't know. There are some people who want a little hands-on with their service, and some people who don't even want to think about it. So I have 3 different levels of service that I provide. I have a chemical service where I just test the water, and that intimidates a lot of people. They either they don't know anything about chemistry, or they don't want to store the chemicals at their home. I have a middle grade service where I take care of the chemicals and I take care of the equipment. People might not be real hands-on with the equipment, taking filters apart. I remember the first filter I took apart when I was in high school for my dad. I couldn't, you know, I took it apart, cleaned it, thought, oh, that'd be real easy. I put it back together and it was leaking like a sieve, and it can be difficult, so, especially in the wintertime when it's cold. So, obviously I have the experience, as I had said. There was a lot of guys out there. The trend was that there were a lot of pool builders that were flourishing during the height in the housing market. They were selling a lot of pools, and their businesses crashed, so they either went on to bigger and better things, or they went into the service industry. And building a pool and servicing a pool on a weekly basis is entirely different. And I've seen a lot of pools. In fact, some of the pools that they built, they screwed up in the maintenance. Plaster is, most of the pools I service are in-ground pools. They're plaster or fiberglass. If it's not maintained properly, that plaster and fiberglass will deteriorate more quickly, and to have that resurfaced generally costs anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. So it's a very large expense. For the most part, most of my clients, I would say, their pool in terms of their personal assets are near the top of the list. I've been to pools where, you know, I've had a new client and, you know, a wife got fed up with her husband not getting out there as often, and the pool was green, but the chemicals and everything were perfect. It was textbook perfect. So, and on the other side of it, I've had pools that looked like, they looked beautiful, and it looked seemingly nothing was wrong, and everything was out of whack. So you never can tell. So it takes experience and knowledge, and I have some unconventional wisdom when it comes to treating the pools. Anytime I come to a new pool, I'll look at the entire environment, not just the pool, but what's going on, the trees, even the direction of the storms, because that plays a big part in maintaining pools. So I wanted to read a couple of reviews that I've recently seen online. There's a Google review. I have 3 reviews. One of them is just nothing. One is from Gary Pride. And the other is from Howard and Cindy Walker. Now, Howard and Cindy Walker, they've been long time clients since 1998. They're one of my original clients. And it just so happens that I referred them to Tom Schultz, and Tom Schultz they painted their house. They were very happy with that. So on the Google review, I'll quote, "Joe and his staff do a great job servicing our pool, as well as any time we've needed lights, heater, etc. Joe has always done an excellent job. I would highly recommend Cool Aquatics Pool Services." So I said, oh, that's nice. So I recently went on Angie's List as well. Angie's List is a nice tool. You know, it's free for business owners, but it does cost the client money to join. So on there, I have another woman, Jane Lewis, here in Fair Oaks. Also another client that I've had since 1998. She writes, "Joe provides regular weekly pool chemical service, repairs any equipment, seasonally turns on and off the solar heating, and recently did a chemical startup for our newly resurfaced pool. Joe is great. He has been working on our pool for 14 years, and we have always been happy with his service. He is extremely responsive to repair calls, but also notices and fixes things without being asked. His bills are always reasonable, and I have never questioned the necessity of a repair. Our pool is always crystal clear and ready for swimming. Thanks, Joe." So obviously I was surprised to see that. So that's nice to see those reviews. I don't have a very large online presence, but you know, for someone to take the time to even write a review, and then on top of that to write a review like that, I think that speaks volumes. I can't say anything better than that. Is there any questions? Yes.
I have a question. In the past, and not so much now, but we've had pools where the county has put mosquito eaters in the pool. That's always a question. Have you dealt with that before?
I have. Usually what happens is that's a foreclosure or something like that, and the new person comes in. I either have a referral from my realtor, or the new person comes in, somehow gets my name and number, and I've had to deal with that. What I end up doing is, at that point, there aren't any chemicals in the pool, so I end up pumping the water out. And the fish, sometimes I'll pump it out on the grass, depending on how bad the grass is. Makes good fertilizer. The fish sometimes clog up the pump, so that can be trouble.
Thank you.
Thank you.